Hello, fellow budgeters. My name is Brandy, and you're watching From Debt to Dreams. And on this channel, we're paying off over $400,000 worth of debt. But don't you fret, way more than half of that is our mortgage. Today, we're going to do a budget with me. I'm back from Georgia, and we had the best time. My sister-in-law does a really great job at making us feel at home, and we never felt like we were a burden, and I learned so much from her, and my kids had a great time at their wind shape camp, and it just was a really precious time for our family. I'm back. I'm glad to be back, but hated leaving. I think that's kind of the way it is most of the time with vacations, but it's gonna be okay. So let's get back to our budget. This is for the pay cycle of July 17th through July 30th. We are budgeting $3,700 to come in. We're going to use $45 from our extra utilities envelope. And we have $225 left over in our income account, which puts us at $3,970. For this pay cycle, excuse me, we're going to be paying our student loan for $500, our electricity bill for $290, which is why we're using $45 from our income account, or from our extra utilities envelope. I don't have quite the whole 90, and it's over our budgeted $200 that we do per month. So I'm going to offset that a little bit by using $45, and we're just going to use a little bit of money that's left over in this income account for that. My husband's life insurance is $50. Piedmont is one that usually is in the beginning. I have been paying it online myself, but then I realized, why am I doing that? I could be doing it to where it's automatic. So in order for that to happen, it needed to move to the second half of the month, which is fine. Apple for $15, my life insurance for $35, our tithe to our church for $100, Spotify for $15. Then we also have our non-negotiables, which is $50 for Christmas and $350 for our games and savings challenges, which puts us at $1,470, which means we have $2,500 to continue with. So in our green binder, which is most of our weekly spending, I am making a change to one of the envelopes in here, and I'll tell you about that when we get to that envelope, but we're going to stuff $1,166 into this envelope, or into this binder, which puts us at $1,334 left over. In our blue binder, which is our annual fees, we're stuffing our usual $18, which puts us at $1,316. In our pink binder, which is our shortish, longish term savings, we're stuffing $124 in there total, which leaves us at $1,192. And then in our purple binder, which is our long-term savings, we are putting in $50. Now, 30 of those dollars are not going into the binder itself, so only $20 is going to go into the binder, but $20 is going to go to my husband's spending, and then $10 I put aside for my children, because they can earn money by doing chores. So which means we have $1,142 left over in our income account to play with or to use in our next pay cycle, which we will need because our next pay cycle will include our mortgage. All right, so that is our budget. Now let's get to the good part, which is the cash stuffing. In here, we have, I think it's $1,708. $1,708. So let's count that out. Let's get our calculator to help us. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 240. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 100. 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 175. And you will have to trust me because I'm not counting it all. There is $103 here, which puts us at $1,708. All right, so let's get started. First, we're going to do our weekly spending. This is the binder where most of our money gets spent from. And we are going to do groceries. And we are going to add $600 into groceries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we had a $100 bill in there already, which puts us at $700 in the grocery envelope. For gas, we're putting in $2.50. So 1, 2, 20, 40, and 50. Adding that to what we already have in here. So in gas, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, and 30. All right, school is getting its usual 30. School is coming up very soon already, so we have to buy some school supplies. And we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 50, 60, 61, 2, 3, 4, 164. And that should be more than enough for school supplies. Scouts is getting its usual 20, which puts us at 100, 200, 20, 40, and 20, 245. Sadie is getting her usual 10. So she now is at 100, 20, 40, 60, 70, and 80, 180. Haircuts is getting its usual 20, so we're now at $60. Takeout is getting 200, and we're doing that with two $100 bills, so we now have 226. Home. So this used to be an envelope called Fun. And I was trying to use this envelope for, like, if we wanted to take the kids to the arcade or if we want to do something like that. But we have another envelope called Family Fun, which is kind of like the same thing. And we also have an envelope called Family or Myers Trips. So I felt like I was just saving for fun in a lot of different places. While I was on my trip to Georgia, I realized that my sister-in-law is really great at homemaking. And I learned a lot from her, like systems and things to do that are very simple in my own home so that my home can feel like a home. So I decided to change my fun envelope into a home envelope. We're going to continue to put $1 in there. And then anytime one of my minis is allocated for fun, I have changed that to be home so that I can start saving for little things to buy here and there for our house. So we're putting in $1, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Smallville start. Prescriptions gets 20. I'm giving it a 20. Clothing gets 5. And we're now at 20. And miscellaneous is empty right now, and it gets 10. All right, nothing in debt payment right now. Okay, our next binder is our annual fees binder. I put $1 into every envelope except for 2. So every envelope, well, actually, now that I'm doing my minis, I don't know if they're all going to be the same. So Costco's getting $1 and we have $7 in there. This is for our Costco membership. It's not for like spending at Costco. Mint City Collective is my husband's membership to a supporters group for the Charlotte Football Club. It also gets $1 and it has 7. Our tax prep is when I pay our taxes, or when I do our taxes, I do it through TurboTax and you have to pay a fee. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, and 2. Whoopsies. Jason's license gets $1. These are his professional licenses for his work. He is a professional counselor, a licensed counselor. So we have 1, 2, 300 in the bank, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Vehicle registration is getting $1 and it has 12. Scouting fees is the one that we're putting $5 in. Our scouting fees are due, I think, the end of December. I like to try to pay them in September though. So we have 20, 40, 65, 7, and 8, $68. Gaming and tech subscriptions gets $1. So we're now at 7. This is for things like our Google Family account, for like Google storage, and then like PlayStation and Nintendo, those kinds of fun things. Identity theft gets $1, so we're at 7. AAA membership is getting $1, so it has 7. And our last one is our water filter for our refrigerator, and it gets the other 5. And this 5 is gross. I'm going to put it right here because my husband's going to get that one. Okay. So there's that one. Next, we're going to go into our shortish, longish term binders. These are things that like I save for in the longish term and shortish kind of stuff. It's not like super long term stuff. I don't really know exactly how to categorize this binder, but birthdays is getting $1 and it's empty right now because we just celebrated my and my mom's birthday. Car care is getting $5. So it has 100, 120, 125, 6, 7, and 8. We had to get an oil change while we were in Georgia, so that probably will be unstuffed by the time our next unstuffing comes around. Charlotte Football Club gets 5, so we are at 20, 40, 50, 5, and 6. This is different than the supporters group membership. This is for our annual trip to see the first game of the season. Family Fun gets $1, and we're at 7. Gifts gets $10. And so now we are at 20, 40, 60, 70, and 80. Health is empty and it's getting 15. HOA only has $100 in it and it's getting 40. So now we're at 140. Kids Sports is getting 5. And we now are at 25, 31, 2, and 3. Pest Control gets its usual 40. So we are at 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 208. What an interesting number. Okay, summer camp is getting $1 and we now have $16. And summer camp, this one is going to be interesting. So my son might want to go to a sleepaway camp next summer. And I think that we'll be able to afford that. But also, we just got back from doing Windshape camp. And we were very fortunate that our Jason's dad and stepmom paid for that for us this year. But next year, we don't want that to happen. We want to be able to pay for it. So that's what I'm also saving up for. And then yard work also gets $1. So it has $7 in there. I just heard my children come home, so hopefully you don't hear them in the background. And last but not least is our purple binder. This is our longest term binder. Brandy, which is me, I get my usual dollar bill, and we get to color in this shoe. And we have 5 shoes left, which is $10 for this tracker, which I've been working on this tracker basically since I started this channel. We now have 20, 40, 65, 7, 8, 9, 71. That's not right. 20, 40, 60, 65, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. There we go. I wasn't counting it properly. I was listening for my children. Emergency fund gets 5. So in the bank, we have a total between my Ally account and my credit union. We have $681. I put this little thing here. I want to put $19 in the bank so that I'm at a total $700. Next time I do an unstuffing. But, so I have 681 in the bank, 781, 786, 87, 88, 89, 90. 790 total in my emergency fund. Extra escrow gets $1. So there's 11. Extra utilities, excuse me, is getting 5. But we are also taking out 45. So, because I need to put it in the bank to pay for the bill. So I took out the 45. So now we're at 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Whoops. Which really I could take all of this out and pay for that bill, but next month is also going to be a pretty high bill. So I'll put this money and put it to the side. I have to run to the bank anyway for a couple of other things. House projects gets 1, and house projects are things like we need to replace our carpet in our upstairs, we want to build a fence, we want to do all kinds of things. So that's very, very, very long term. Jason gets $1 of savings, so he has $22 in his savings, and then he gets a 10 and 2 5s for spending. So let's look here for some ugly ones. These all look pretty good, so we'll do that one. And he gets this ugly one. And I've picked out some really good ones this time, which is a bummer. So picked out meaning I had a ton in my system, and this is all from my cash unstuffing. I just didn't take this to the bank. What I'm going to do instead is put 1708 that I would have taken out of my income account, and pay that to the credit card. So here's his $20 in spending, which he will be excited about. All right, Jonas Brothers gets $1. I'm so nervous that they're going to go on tour and give us absolutely no heads up, because that's what they do. They tell you, and then like in 2 days, that's when their pre-sale starts, which is a bummer. Okay, kids. This envelope gets $2. That's because I have 2 kids, so each kid gets $1. So I have 10, 15, 16, 17, and 18 in here. And that's just for long-term savings. Myers Trips, gets $1. This will also be emptied out once we do our unstuffing. So we have 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, and 1. Since we just went on a Myers trip. Utah gets $1. for $1. We have 11. And year-end giving gets $1, and I do not count that out loud. All right, so what we have left is, I did not pull the $10 out for my kids. That's a pretty one. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let me just make sure that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And I pay them in ones whenever they do decide to like redeem for their money, because I'm trying to teach them give, save, spend. So if I pay them in ones, we have the opportunity to put those dollar bills in their, they don't have envelopes, they have jars right now. Okay, so the rest of this money is for our games and savings challenges. So for our play and pay, each week gets one $20 bill. Each week gets 6 $10 bills. Each week gets 7 $5 bills. And each week gets 10 $1 bills. So this should be $125, and I am just going to count that real quick. Perfect. All right, that's good to go. I'll put that in my blue binder, and then our minis get 5 $5 bills and 25 $1 bills. Perfect. And I'm not going to recount that because it's perfect. If it weren't perfect, I would need to recount. All right, well, that's all I got for us today, my friends. I hope that you have a lovely weekend. No, sorry, you see this on Monday now. I'm filming this on Friday because that's when I got paid. So I hope that you had I hope that you did have a lovely weekend. I hope that you have a very lovely week. Oh, I wanted to show you this really quick. I'm so sorry. I ordered from Prop Budgets because she's having a store closing sale, basically, which makes me sad. So let's do this. She sent me, I got one of her mystery grab bags, and I got some dice and a little game person. Hold on, I have to sneeze. This is a thank you card, but on the back of it there is a mini savings challenge, which is awesome. And then she sent these 4 little things. These were just mystery grab bags. So let's open this really quick and see. I don't know about you. I don't really get to buy from Etsy very often. And I really like the stuff that Prop Budgets does, but she said she was closing up her shop, so I had to do it. That is so cute. How to Haunt Your Enemies. That's a save 60. And then these 3 little minis that came with it. That's amazing. This one looks like it's got stickers. I started opening it and I was like, wait, I need to do this on camera. Whoop. These cute little stickers. Oh my word. I could put those on like $1. Oh, look at that. Is that a red panda drinking boba? So cute. And then a couple of budget sheets. That's great. Always need those. I just get sad when quality stores start closing up. Ooh, that's a save 75. She was a fairy. And then some minis to go with it. I love it. And then the last one I think she said that she's going to keep her digital products up, which is great because I really want to get the bookstore game. Oh, wow, a save 80. Pour myself a cup of love. Whoops, come on up. That looks like a fun little mini. Wow, those are cute. Oh, look at that one. That could be a good tiny. Well, that makes me sad. Thank you, Prop Budgets, for sending me these really cool things in my order. I really appreciate it. This cute little, I love that the mystery grab bag was a great idea. I'm just sad that you're leaving the Etsy community. I think you also said you might be stopping doing videos too. But anyway, okay, now for real, that's all I have for us today. I hope that you have a lovely week, and I'll see you on Wednesday with a winning Wednesday / that's the day I do my minis. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.